Right, so let's crack on with round 5 then of season 4, and again back at Blue Moon Bay, and it's the finishing order of the first race that will set the grid for this one. So Ben will be on pole from Nathan, and then it will be Sean from Alex, Lewis, Chris, Rob, Kevin, Will, Liam, Ash, Nick, Andrew, Coleman, Leon and Brian at the back. So we're ready for a start. So it's 2x2 at the front, Subaru, then the BMWs. Will we see another epic start from the Hyundai, which we've seen all season? It's caught a lot of people out. Ready for a start, and we're away. And it's a good start from the Subarus, not such a great start from Lewis this time. Bit of wheel spin, and immediately the Subarus swoop into a lead, and they're going to try the same tactic, I would imagine, from the first race and try and pull away. Nathan was quicker in the early stages in the first race, so maybe they should think about swapping it. A little bit wide from one of the RAC cars, I suspect that was Alex. Yeah, and he's caught out of position now, so he's got a Mustang down the inside of him, and he's already lost out to one of the Hyundai, sorry, of Lewis. Yeah, he has. So Alex not with the greatest of starts, but he's already made his name in this series. So that first race, and there is one of the Toyotas going down the inside and taking a couple of positions. Coleman in the middle there with a bit of contact, and that's one of the, that looked like Leon's round again on the first lap, and it is. It's Leon again. Maybe he should just start on lap 2 and just, I don't know, sit in the pits for lap 1. It's just not working out for him, was it? But it is the Subarus that lead as we end the first lap. And like I said, disaster, and that looks like Will's quite far back as well, so he's obviously caught up in the middle of that. But Sean though with Lewis all over the back of him, so in a reverse from the first race. And Ben's got Nathan right behind him, but Nathan's just trying to push him along at the moment like they did in the first race. Wise move, Chris is wide, Rob's even wider, and he's just caught the grass, and oh, he didn't have his golden eye out for that one. Round he goes, and Leon's wide trying to avoid it all. So it's Ben, Nathan, then it's Sean, Lewis, and the rest of the pack come storming through. So Will quite far back, and Rob as well. A mistake was that from Andrew, and it's letting Ash have a look. Kevin though making moves. He's just passed Alex. Kevin's car looks a bit more lively in these warmer conditions. He looks like he's a bit more at the races this time. I think he finished about 8th in the first race, so not such a great showing from Kevin. That's new to BTCC this season. Cars all look amazing this definitely this season. They definitely look amazing, and there's a few colour changes coming apparently, so we'll keep an eye on that. And the slow Mazda is overtaking one of the faster cars on the straight line, the Hyundai. So alright Kevin, nice try. And that's actually pushed Lewis out wide, but Kevin is through, and Kevin making some really impressive moves earlier in this race, and now he's down the inside of the Mustang. So, well, this is not GT3, Kevin. You can't just come in here and dominate this, mate. But he is up to 4th, and that's a pretty impressive start. Ben's off. Ben's gone off on that horrible kink, and he's down to 3rd place, and that's going to give Nathan the lead, but critically Sean up to 2nd place. So we've got a car in between the Subarus at last. Ben tries to retake the position, but doesn't seem to have much front end at the moment. And that was his problem in the first race. It just took the car too long to get going. You can see it, that the car is just literally understeering. So we might need to change the bias on that one. Red 5 is heading back to 5th if he carries on like that. But Nathan leads. He won't be that upset about that problem for his teammate after losing out to him in the first race and pretty much battling him for the championship at the moment. Sean came into these races 7th in the championship, but after that first race we'll move up a little bit. Sean coming home 3rd, and now he's looking down the inside to take the lead from Nathan, and we haven't seen Sean lead in the BMW this season, and he has now. He takes the lead, the defending champions, back where he feels he belongs, into the lead of this race. Kevin meanwhile is moving up onto the back of Ben, so Kevin's not finished his steamrollering. Two Hyundais that were impressive last week and not so impressive in this race, starting to drop back through the field. And Rob's made his way past Brian. But it is Sean that leads, and now Kevin all over the back of Ben. Ben's just completely outbraked himself again, and he's gone wide, and that allows Kevin up to third. So yep, Kevin the star of this race so far, literally storming through. Chris though with a cut back on Alex, not quite. Alex fighting the car in this race more than he was in the first race. Once you get into this pack, it's very hard to get away from him. Right, can the Subaru do anything about the BMW on the straight? Equally, can the Subaru do anything about the Mazda in third and fourth? And it looks like the Subaru's got the legs to get past. It had a slight BHP increase during the week. It seems like it's enough to get it involved in some straight line action, which was the Achilles heel at the last race at Dragon's Trail. It's just getting blasted on the straight. But ooh, sideways from Lewis. That's not unusual. Likes to drive sideways. So Nathan leads Sean, Kevin, and then Ben. Demon Tweaks Subaru leads the way from the RAC BMW. Then it's the Nescafe Blend Mazda, and then the other Demon Tweaks Subaru, and then the other RAC car, the Mondeo livery Mustang, and then a couple of the Peugeot 406 liveried cars. There's the two VXR cars at the back. Nathan number 44 leads number 1, Sean. Kevin though just edging away from Ben, so impressive from Kevin. Problem is, the better he does, the harder it is going to be to take him seriously in that Mazda when he says he's struggling. And Sean now retaking the lead again, so he wants to be up front. Feels like he's got the pace, and these two are probably thinking about trying to work together and pull away from that third, fourth battle. And there it is. And there's pretty much everyone else is fifth. Chris leads that pack though from Liam, who's having a much better race than the first race. Then it's Alex who's steadily dropping back. Not quite got the same car under him as the first race, obviously. Whereas he'd be doing better, but still 7th is good considering he's dropped in the deep end, as was Will and Coleman for this race. And Chris then just trying to use the advantages of the Mustang whilst try not to show too much of the disadvantages. The disadvantage would be corners like this where it's really tight. Just trying to get all that weight through that corner. Nathan though looking to return the favour that Sean paid on him a lap ago down the straight. These two cars look pretty equal on performance down the straight. Meanwhile behind, Ben can't do anything about the Mazda on the straight. Literally in the slipstream when he can't pull out, so that Mazda's got some legs on it. And it looks like Kevin and Ben just a little bit closer this lap, so maybe that's Ben's thinking, is just see if Kevin can pull him up to them. That would be great. We can get a four-way fight for the lead. Nick in 11th place with Coleman behind him. Rob recovering and starting to catch the Lexus cars. Sean though, will he go up the inside? No. So that tells you that they are working together, because he could quite easily have taken a position there, and he could there as well. Chooses not to. Ben down the inside of Kevin though. He's made the move. Kevin will probably come back straight away, and he does, like the clever driver he is, and a bit of touring car contact as you'd expect, and that's absolutely fine to see. So Kevin retakes the position, and more frustration for Ben, who probably feels like he could be winning this race, or at least fighting for it. But pretty much like Dragon Trail really, where he's out of position. Will passing Lewis, so Will again on his spectacular way. I would say that Hyundai's normally quicker than straight, but he is getting a good slipstream. Looked like Ash was helping him with the slipstream there, but moved over to take the line into the first corner. Again, just over halfway through this race now, and it is Nathan that leads from Sean, and then Kevin and Ben, but they're not quite able to get onto the back of these two. Kevin not quite with the same pace, but it's all very close. Now into this tricky double apex left hand sort of hairpin. And now Nathan just starting to turn the screw. He's setting fastest sectors. Sean's going to try and hang on to him. Kevin and Ben will just still try and get there. Chris still ahead of Liam. Chris just using the power of the Mustang here. This is its favourite place, the straight. Like I say, we know last week that the Hyundai wasn't a slouch, and with the weight decrease, surely it should be even quicker down the straight. Let's see. No, the Mustang's still a rocket ship in a straight line, look. And there comes Ash, and here comes the rest. And they all turn in and somehow funnel through one at a time. Although I think Lewis is side by side with Will, which seems to have been going on for about 3 laps. Alex in 8th place now, so he's dropped a further position. And they're still side by side. And Will takes the position as they go into that tricky right-hander that you can't really go side by side at. Into the hairpin again. Chris defending again, holding the tight line, and nothing anyone else can do about that. Liam, this is where Liam wants to get through so he can pull a gap before the straight, but again frustrated by that Mustang, and Chris is driving it perfectly. Lewis on the grass trying to go around the outside, which is brave in the extreme, and he goes and hits the wall. So he'll lose pretty much most of his drive down the straight. So we flick back to see the others, and now Ben's finally alongside the Mazda, but again the Mazda's pulling away on the straight, look. And again Kevin's able to pull in, so Ben just backs out of that. He doesn't want to sacrifice or cause any issues, and Kevin retakes the position. These are still good points for Ben, even though he feels like he should be up there. Nathan's winning though, so that's not a good thing for him. And Sean with a fast lap that last time through in the 10s, so these guys are really going for it now. You can see 12s for these two, so they've dropped right back, probably fighting and squabbling. Liam though, whoa, and Liam has passed Chris, and Chris is now defending from, I think that is Ash. It is Ash. So Ashy is involved in a lot of battles tonight. So Chris is Liam pull away enough from Chris to be safe on the straight. He's going to need about 2 miles to beat that Mustang. Nathan just a little gap on Sean, but Sean in the slipstream will pull that back. And again in the background these two are fighting. So I think Ben's given up on any aspirations of catching the leaders. He just wants to try and take third. And in the background, will that Mustang catch Liam? Just looking at the timing. Looks like Liam's got it. Yep, he has just, but look how much that Mustang pulled back. The two Toyotas trying to make their way through, but their fastest probably sector is from here to the last corner, which is where the overtaking gets done, but they haven't got the straight line performance. Meanwhile, Nick's all over the back of Coleman there, and Rob has made it past both Lexus cars. Ben is past Kevin, and I think we missed that. Let's see how it was done. Here it is. So Kevin had the inside, switches to the outside, and as he does that, Ben switches to the inside and tries to avoid contact, but it's inevitable. He got a bit squeezed and just a little bit of contact, but they were side by side. And great move there, because Kevin thought he had the inside cover, went to the outside to take the line, and just as he did that, Ben switched to the inside. But now we'll see what happens on the straight with those two, as cover the guys at the back here, and there's Brian making a mistake, it's gone wide. Nathan though still with that gap, just keeping Sean at arm's length. Ben though will be less than impressed with this, because the Master's walking past him. So wow, yeah, what do you say about that? Kevin back into third place. He's obviously borrowed some parts from the Mustang for this race, because that was pretty much obliterated the Subaru down the straight there. But Nathan though is not able to shake off Sean, and there is only a lap and a half to go. Nathan will be feeling a bit of deja vu here, because this is what it was like in the first race with his own teammate, who just stalked him and waited to the last lap. But so hopefully Nathan can learn from that. Sean a bit wide there on the first apex. And wow, what's happening here? Liam still 5th, but can't break the tow. And he's got the Mustang still just behind him of Chris. As Coleman, as we see the others flash through, and the two Works BMWs running together. Now Nathan trying the old tactic like he did in the first race of trying to break the slipstream without weaving too much. He's moved once. Ben's probably feeling a bit helpless against this Mazda. He can close up on the slipstream, but as soon as they reach pretty much top speed, he can't do any more. There's Sean though, looking around the inside, and Nathan gets a good run out of that corner, but not able to pull the move. Looks onto the outside, maybe a switch back here, but no, Nathan's got that covered. So through this tricky corner now, this is the corner where you've got to get it right. Nathan's just about done it, but Sean's got an overlap. Sean's even quicker, and this is going to be deja vu, isn't it? Because now Sean's going to pull the same move as Ben did in the first race and dive down the hairpin on the last lap. Can he get it stopped? Just. Nathan's looking for the switchback, but it's not going to happen. So he'll have to try a move now, either in at this corner or at the last corner, and then all try and slipstream at the line that he tried to do to his teammate. But Sean leads amazingly through the last corner. A better line from Sean, to be honest with you. He's wide though. Nathan's coming back at him. He's close enough to have a go. Meanwhile, Kevin and Ben are close as well, so we're going to have to cover both. Sean though looks like he's got it. Nathan's closing in the slipstream. Let's see across the line. Sean wins from Nathan, and for third looks like it's going to be Kevin. It is by half a car length from Ben. 5th is Liam. 6th is going to be Chris. 7th looks like it's going to be Alex. So Alex did gain a couple places back, and then it's Lewis in 8th. And 9th for Will, 10th for Ash, 11th for Coleman. Yep, 11th for Coleman. 12th for Nick, 13th for Rob, so not a bad comeback. 14th for Andrew, 15th is going to be Leon again, so the final point for Leon. And again, unfortunately, no points for Brian. And 16th by the looks of it. And what a good race. But unfortunately for Nathan, he's been caught out by the same trick twice. So, type of guy that you got to tell 3 times to understand, I guess. But Nathan will be pretty upset about that. Sean though with a win and a great comeback. Nathan 2nd, Kevin 3rd, brilliant from Kevin, probably the star of that race, moving up from about 8th or 9th on the grid. Ben 4th, Liam 5th, Chris 6th, Alex 7th, Lewis 8th, Will 9th, Ash is in 10th, Coleman was 11th, and Nick 12th. 13th for Rob, 14th for Andrew, 15th for Leon, and as we said, no points for Brian. And 16th, Ben with the fastest lap on lap 6. So that was that. Now it's just a reverse grid, and if my voice can manage it, we'll cover it in the next video.